Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. In today's video, we're just going to do a little bit of a planner chit chat. I'm in such a good place with respect to my planners and my planner system as a whole. I literally couldn't be happier in terms of my contentment currently. And I'm just in the mood to share. We can call this, I guess, my Q1 planner update. I'm currently in a regular sized Hobonichi Weeks and a B6 Sterling Ink Common Planner. So yeah, if you would like to see how I'm using these planners, how my system has evolved, and what's up with me in terms of planning and journaling as well, feel free to stick around. Before we get started, my name is Jay. On this channel, I tend to create a lot of planner content, talking about my planners, talking about planner accessories and planner adjacent things. If any of that is interesting to you, I hope that you stick around. I would absolutely love if you take a second to like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me, and let's just hop right into it. So let's start with my B6 because it's the fun thing. If you're new here, I've been using Hobonichi Weeks for years. This year has actually been my best experience with the weeks, and that has so much to do with how I've set it up and also how I have truly found like my planner style and identity and reverted back to a lot of things that made me happy at one point. And it's just been like the perfect combination of all the things. But I have talked about this quite recently. So let's start off with the B6 because that's a little bit newer of a system in general. So this is my Sterling Ink B6 Common Planner. It is the half year. So there's a secondary book that has the second half of the year. This book only runs from January to June. This is the front cover of my planner. I've been having a lot more fun with like color and more decorative stuff. If you've been around for a while, I've been like pretty minimalistic in terms of like decoration of covers and stuff for a very long time now. This is very new to me, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. The cover of this is bringing me so much joy, the way that it's decorated. And also I haven't, oh, there's a fire alarms, not fire alarms, sirens. I haven't permanently stuck down any of these stickers, which means that I can go in and kind of rearrange them as I wish, which is fun as well. Okay, so in the front cover here, I have two of the tarot card vinyl stickers from Planner Monkey Co. This one's from Just Paper Co. This one's also from Planner Monkey Co. So the intro page, I haven't done anything with. The yearly overview, I haven't done anything with. And then I also haven't done anything with this page, which is, I think, like for a vision board or something like that. I just haven't done anything with it. The next spread, though, I'm not going to share, but I have been using like crazy and I'm really enjoying it. The next spread looks like this. This is an empty one from a different planner that I have. It's a goal breakdown spread, and I used this at the beginning of the year to map out all of my goals. So at the beginning of the year, I had this planner. I had purchased it. It was in my possession. I just really wasn't sure if or how I was going to use it. But I did know that in terms of goal planning, I wanted to try out the Sterling Ink system. So I opened the planner, used the Sterling Ink goal system, used these pages, and then didn't know if or how I would use the rest of the planner. But from the get-go, I have been using this goal system. I'm not going to share it with you because it's quite personal to me, but I have been using it, and it's been going really well. And then this is the like quarterly breakdown overview. So you have a section up here where you can write down your Q1 goals, and then it gives you a spot for January, February, and March. And I've been using this. I've been doing a combination of quarterly goals and then monthly goals that align with the quarterly goals. And then I've been doing a little bit of the like I am watching, I am listening kind of general recap of the month, and I've been quite enjoying it. I also tried to use the tracker in here. I'm not great with trackers to begin with. I've had conversations about trackers on this channel before. I'm not great at them. I'm currently successfully using one in my Hobonichi Weeks. Using two is off the table, so I just haven't been using it. I tried to do mood, quickly realized I don't need to track my mood. It's not important to me. Also, I don't know how people sum up their moods into like one mood for the day. I've never just been happy all day or like annoyed all day. It's always an ebb and flow. It doesn't work for me. I'm not trying it anymore. So it does not work for me. So I'm not using that. And then this is for the rest of the year, which is interesting because this planner only runs from January through June. It's interesting that she also gives you Q3 and Q4, but it's also nice in case you want to map out all of your goals at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I obviously haven't been using these pages. Next, we have the monthly. I'm not a big monthly user. And given that this isn't my main functional planner, this one's more a little bit like a memory planner / journal. I wasn't sure what to do with this spread. I've actually ended up using it to mark my reading. I don't read a ton, but I'm reading more than I ever have in my adult life. And it's nice to be able to put a sticker down when I start a new book and when I end a book. And if I wasn't using this as a book tracker, I wouldn't be using it at all. So I'm doing something with it. And I'm actually quite enjoying the practice of documenting it. So this is my little book tracker. And then obviously no like pre-planning or anything is happening in here. So this was the first week that I tried to use this planner. It was the first week of the year. Obviously I didn't know what I was doing and how or if this planner was going to actually fit into my planner system. So I just put some stuff down on the page and I didn't like it. So much so that the next week I didn't use it. And I then ended up going back sometime later since I had this empty week and playing around with different layouts when I thought about how I potentially might want to start using this planner again. So I had a variety of different potential layouts drawn out, and then I had a couple of needs that I knew I would want out of a spread, like out of a memory kind of spread. And then I had some like general questions that I was posing to myself, such as would I want it to be more structured or would I want it to be like just more open and free flow? And then if I was going to add deco, how or where would it go? Would it go in after the fact or before? And if it's going in before, where would it go so that I'm not eating up too much real estate of the usable space? So then after that, we go into this week, and this spread is essentially me bringing this layout to life, and I liked it if this was going to be my functional planner. But what I liked about this was that I had a place to put my work stuff, I had a place to put events, I had a place to put my to-dos, and then I also had a place for my food log. But what didn't make sense was that I was using my Hobonichi Weeks and enjoying my Hobonichi Weeks, and I didn't want to leave my Hobonichi Weeks. So this would work theoretically as a functional planner, but for me to go in and write in all of my to-dos in a list style, it's essentially like genuinely just recreating my Hobonichi Weeks, and I didn't find value in that. So I tried it again the next week. I still was kind of struggling with the concept of it. At the same time, though, I was also using a secondary Hobonichi Weeks as a health Hobonichi Weeks and was writing down my food log. And while it worked at the beginning of the year, I had higher hopes for that book. I was planning on making it a health journal where I was going to talk about a bunch of different things and do a bunch of different things in that book. And by this point, which was January 22nd, I was realizing, hey, I'm not really using the Hobonichi Weeks, the health one, to the extent that I thought I was going to. So at that point, I was already thinking about the prospect of consolidation. If I was only using what was supposed to be a full-fledged health planner as a food log, like that's all I was using it as, I knew that there was a way that I could definitely consolidate it into one of the other planners that I was using. So that's why I started doing the food log down here and testing it out. Even though I was still doing it in my health Hobonichi Weeks, I was already testing the waters as to how it would look to kind of combine a bunch of these things that I was doing. But I still wasn't in love with it because it still felt like a duplication of my Hobonichi Weeks. So like some weeks I set up and never really finished. And then it was about halfway through this week, I believe, that I did go ahead and pull out my 2023 Common Planner. And this Common Planner I didn't use for a long time, but the time that I did use it, I loved it. I got to be creative. I was having fun with it. I was playing with stickers. Like, I really enjoyed my time in this planner. The reason why I didn't stick with it was, again, because it didn't feel functional and it felt like a duplication of my weeks. Or no, not of my weeks, of my standard TN. Last year I was in a standard TN. And it didn't feel like it was bringing anything to the table, and I ended up pushing it aside in favor of some other things. But every single time I pulled out this planner, I loved the way it looked. I was really enjoying the whole vibes of it. So once I found this and like pulled it out of the depths of my closet where all my planners go to die, I started this. So this is essentially a duplication of the kind of style that I was doing in my 2023 Sterling ink, which I did a whole video last year about a week in the B6 Common Planner. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I spelt crisis wrong, but I really enjoyed putting the whole thing together, playing with my stickers a little bit more, because my Hobonichi Weeks is great. I really enjoy that planner, but it holds my entire functional life. And I don't have room for stickers all the time. I don't have room to be creative a lot of the time because I need it to hold everything. Like, I'm trying to maximize its space. And I don't want to go in and like pre-decorate with stickers, not knowing if I'm going to need that space later in the week and it's going to bite me in the ass. So being able to do this, even though while some of it is a little bit redundant, I've just been having so much fun in terms of creativity. It's been such a good time. I've been really happy in this book. It's also been my food log. So I've abandoned my 2024 health Hobonichi Weeks because, again, all I was doing in there was food tracking, and I'm doing it in here, which means that I have an obligation or a reason to interact with this book on a daily basis. Whereas last year when I was in this book, I didn't have a reason really. I did the food log, but I wasn't consistently tracking my food last year. So as you can see, at a certain point, the food log just dropped off the map because it wasn't something that I was doing. But at this point, I have been consistently tracking my food since December, the last week of November, first week of December last year. And I'm still doing it to this day. So there's a reason and an incentive that is bringing me into this B6 Common Planner on a daily basis, which is leading to me then being creative and filling out the rest of the day and having fun. And I'm really, really, really enjoying it. It's been great. So this is February 19th to the 25th, and I've been having so much fun with it. I've been documenting memories. There's so many things that have like found their way into this book that haven't made it into my weeks. For example, if it's Wednesday, right? And something happens on Wednesday, it's going in here as opposed to going in my health, in my regular functional Hobonichi Weeks. That Hobonichi Weeks tends to have a lot of things. It's like, I'm going to do this, or that is going to happen. Whereas this is kind of catching all of the things that are spontaneously happening that I want to remember, that are nice, that I want to think about, and see in the future when I look back. So it's been so good. I've been having so much fun, and I've been playing with decorative stickers so much more, and I've been doing some like lettering and just trying new things because I feel like I have the space to do so. It's been a great experience. So this was last week. Like, I pulled out some Fox and Pip stickers. I haven't used their stickers in so long, but they're adorable. They're just too big for my Hobonichi Weeks. I'd never use them in my Hobonichi Weeks, but I've been having fun with them here. And then this was today. So that's that. In my last planner chat video, I talked about my A5 Stology, which I started my A5 Stology as my journal. I felt like I needed a place to write, and I was really itching to get into the A5 size. At a certain point, I was considering buying an A5 Common Planner, but I decided I'm not spending any more money for planners this year. I don't need another planner. I already have a B6 one. So for journaling, I had hopped into an A5 Stology. I loved that Stology. However, my brush pens were bleeding through the page. And at a certain point, and I knew that this was going to happen, like you could even hear me talking about it in that last video where I was talking about my current system, that 3 books wasn't necessary, and I knew consolidation was possible. But for the consolidation to occur, I knew that I was going to have to give up the A5 Stology, and I have. I've moved my journaling into this book. So I started at the beginning of the year when I initially started to try to use this book. I did a little bit of journaling, and then at a certain point, I'd hopped into the A5 Stology in February. I did about, I don't know how many spreads, but I had about 25 pages, and I didn't want to give those spreads up. I know that they're here. They're in my closet where the planners go to die. But I want at the end of this planner to be able to put this on my bookshelf and have it be all of January 2024 to June of 2024. So I did the laborious task of taking pictures of all of those entries that I had put into my A5 Stology and printing them out on printer paper and pasting them into this book. Looking back on it, what a wild decision. But also, I'm so happy because it feels like I have a complete thing. Like, even though these entries weren't written on this paper and in this book, they're here. I have a complete thing to archive at the end of the year, and I couldn't be happier about it. So I literally took pictures of all of my entries from my Stology and printed them out. They're not the best quality, I know that. But also I know that if I really need to look at them, or if the picture really isn't clear enough, I can go pick up that A5 Stology. But it works. I printed on printer paper, so the paper's really thin. Like I printed on cheap printer paper, because normally I don't like pasting things into my planner because it gives it like a weird bump. But with this one, I've been loving it because I'm pretty sure I talked to you guys before about how I was kicking myself for getting the half year B6 because it felt so dinky. It felt so thin. It just didn't feel right. Tangibly, I wasn't getting along with it. Once I pasted these journal entries in here, I love it. It feels nice. It feels a little bit chunky. It's great. I couldn't be happier. It was a lot of work in terms of like a lot of unnecessary work that could have been spent doing something else. But in terms of my long-term commitment and happiness being in this book, it was well worth it. So these are some of those spreads that I did in that A5 Stology that I resized for B6 and printed them out and pasted them in here. And then since then, I have been just like simply journaling on these pages. So I've been using pet tapes. I cut this out of the bag from Wonder Pens when I went to go pick up some new washi tapes. And I've been journaling a little bit more, but some of it's private. I've been actually like really into journaling. And because this is actually quite thin, like it is the half year, and it's a B6 size and it's not an A5 size, I've been carrying this around with me. It's not necessary. I can totally survive with just my Hobonichi Weeks, but I have the option to just like toss it in my bag and I don't feel like it's taking up a huge amount of room. So I've been carrying it around with me. I've been journaling with it on the go. I've just been really happy in this book, like really happy. It's an odd book where it's got like my goals and my memories and my reading tracker and my journal. It's interesting, but it's all in here, and it truly just kind of feels like an extension of my weeks in the best way possible. I know that there is a reality where I could probably have a Hobonichi cousin and fit everything in one book, but I love my weeks. I love my weeks so much in terms of it being a functional planner. I don't want to give it up. I really don't want to give it up. I'm so content in this planner. And having these two just works. Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad about carrying 3 books. 2 books, 3 books was a little bit too much. It got to me. But this like really isn't bothering me at all. I actually quite like it. I've got my functional one and my fun one. So let's talk about the functional one. It's been going great. Like, not a lot has changed. I'm still in my monthlies. I've started using the side column over here functionally, and I've been using it to track my LSAT studying. So it's been actually working really well for that purpose, because I've been doing like weekly goals instead of specific daily goals, which just works. It provides a little bit more flexibility for me. What else? I don't know if anything else has specifically changed. It's been going so well. I particularly love the layout of this planner, like how I have chosen to set it up this year. The way I'm also decorating it is very reminiscent of my 2022 Hobonichi Weeks, which is one of my favorite planners I've ever been in as well. And I just feel like I've found my planner identity in terms of like how I like to decorate my pages. yet still have them be functional. I've just been having a really good time. So like last week, for example, I went in and added in a couple of things after the fact, just because I wanted to play in my planners. And it's been a long time. Like last year, there was a long time last year where I didn't feel like I just wanted to play in my planners. And I've been really feeling that and really just enjoying it. Like I couldn't be happier currently. And yeah, Bookbound, B6, Hobonichi Weeks, it's going so well. It's going so well. So yeah, and then my back pages also, like I have truly never had such a useful setup in my back pages that I find value in, so much so that I continually update it. Like normally, long before now, like this point in the year, I have abandoned most of these back pages, and that's just not the case with this planner. And a lot of thought went into my back pages this year, and it's for the best because I've truly been enjoying them. And even like, I can't show you, but I have like a whole section there where I'm doing finance stuff. And then recently I also added in one of these little supplemental notebooks from Hobonichi, and I've just been using it as scratch paper, like true scratch paper. Normally, if I need scratch paper, I'm grabbing a random piece of paper around me, but because my planner has literally been beside me everywhere that I'm going, it's constantly on my desk, I'm always reaching for it. I've actually found that having scratch paper in my physical planner has been very helpful, and I've been using it like crazy, and it's been nice, especially because I've been budgeting this year for the first time in my life. I talk about it almost every video. It's changed my life, but there's been a lot of times where like I just kind of want to play with the numbers, and it would essentially be something that I would do on scratch paper, but still having it means that I can refer to it in 2 weeks when I get paid, which is nice. So yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. And then I also have a small section for dailies here as well. So I don't use dailies a whole lot, just because I don't feel like I'm that busy, but when I do need them, I have the pages. So I've left from page 37 all the way to 73 for my notes, my journal, my daily pages for all of 2024. So that should definitely get me through the year. I mean, from the past 3 months, December, January, February, and now almost the end of March, mid to end of March, I've used a page and a half. So I should definitely be able to get to the end of the year without running out of them. But yeah, those are my updates, my planner updates. That's my little stationary chat. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what planners you are currently using, if you made a shift to your system, and how it's just been generally going for you guys in 2024. I'm always so curious and love to hear from you. So before you head out, please take a second to like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.